Me llamo Anita Juanita Rosa Maria Cruz. You can call me Anita. So today, I'm going to show you how to make a famous cake. It's called Tarta de Santiago. This literally means the cake of St. James. It's an almond cake or pie from Galicia with origin in the Middle Ages. The Galician name for the cake is torta, but it is more often called by the Spanish word, tarta. The filling principally consists of ground almonds, eggs, and sugar, with additional flavorings of lemon zest or sometimes wine and brandy depending on the recipe. It is baked in a round shape, and it can be made with a base or without one. This base can be either puff pastry or short press pastry. And the top of the pie is decorated with powdered sugar, masked by an imprint of the Cross of St. James, which gives the pastry its name. So let's start by getting out all of our ingredients.
Hello, my name is James Oliver Finknagel. I've devoted my life to studying the history of this cake. I am a food historian. This cake, the Tarta de Santiago, is originated from Santiago de Compostela, Spain. It is sold everywhere in Santiago de Compostela. This city lies at the end of one of the most popular medieval pilgrimages, the Way of St. James, which has been followed since the 9th century. The Way of St. James, or St. James's Way, commonly known by its name in Spanish, El Camino de Santiago, is the name of any of the pilgrimage routes to the shrine of the Apostle St. James the Great, in the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela in Galicia, in northwestern Spain, where tradition has it that the remains of the saint are buried. The Way of St. James was one of the most important Christian pilgrimages during medieval times, together with Rome and Jerusalem, and a pilgrimage route on which a plenary indulgence could be earned.
Okay, anyway, thank you for that interesting information. So now we have all our ingredients out. This calls for seis huevos separados. So here we have the yolks and then the whites. And it calls for 1 3/4 cups of harina de almendra. Here that is. 1 1/4 cups of azúcar. It says superfine, but we don't have that, so we'll just make it 2. And then the grated zest of the una limon, and the grated zest of una naranja. Where did that go? And we don't have an orange either, so we're going to use orange oil. And that's all it is. It's really easy. So now we'll start mixing it. First thing we need to do is to beat the egg yolks with the sugar.
Legend holds it that St. James's remains were carried by boat from Jerusalem to northern Spain, where he was buried on the site of what is now the city of Santiago de Compostela. In 813 AD, according to a famous medieval legend, the light of a bright star guided a shepherd who was watching his flock straight to the burial site in Santiago de Compostela. The shepherd quickly reported his discovery to the Bishop of Iria. The bishop declared that the remains were those of the Apostle James, and immediately notified King Alfonso II in Oviedo. To honor St. James, the cathedral was built on the spot where his remains were said to have been found.
Okay, thank you. So now that I've got these mixed, we are going to need to add, let's see, it says...
Another interesting fact about the pilgrims of
That's very fascinating. I need these egg whites beaten. Do you think you could do that over there somewhere? Thank you. They're supposed to be stiff peaks. So, now I have the egg yolks and the sugar beaten. I'm just going to finish that up really fast. It says to beat them into a smooth, pale cream. pretty good. So now, let's see, I need to add the zests and the almond extract. So we have the zest of a lemon. I'm going to finish that. Okay. I think I've got about all I can off of it. So now, we put that in. And mix it up until it looks like it's pretty evenly distributed. Looks pretty good. Now, since we unfortunately don't have any fresh oranges, we're going to put the orange oil in. And I'm going to put a teaspoon in. There we go. It should taste about like there's a zest of an orange in it. Hopefully it is. There we go. And now for the almond extract. It says 4 drops, so I'll just do half a teaspoon. There we go. Oh, good, you finished just in time. Thank you so much. There. That smells delicious. Now, next thing we do is we take the egg whites, and you can see they've got pretty stiff peaks. We're supposed to fold them into the egg mixture. So, let me scrape it out. Stuff is really delicate. This will take a few minutes, but the texture is well worth it. And then when I finish with this, all we have to do is put the almond flour in. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now we just put the almond flour in. It's important to measure very carefully.
There's another version of the legend, according to a tradition that can be traced back at least to the 12th century, when it was recorded in the Codex Calixtinus. St. James decided to return to the Holy Land after preaching in Galatia. There he was beheaded, but his disciples managed to get his body to Jaffa, where they found a marvelous stone ship, which miraculously conducted them and the apostles' body to Area Flavia, back in Galatia. There, the disciples asked the local pagan queen, Lola, the she-wolf, for permission to bury the body. She, annoyed, decided to deceive them, sending them to pick a pair of oxen she allegedly had by the Pico Sacro, a local sacred mountain where a dragon dwelt, hoping that the dragon would kill the Christians. But as soon as the beast attacked the disciples, at the sign of the Christian cross, the dragon exploded. Then the disciples marched to pick the oxen, which were actually wild bulls, which the queen used to punish her enemies. But again, at the sight of the Christian's cross, the bulls calmed down, and after being subjected to a yoke, they carried the apostles' body to the place where now Compostela is.
Thank you, that was very interesting. So now, we've got all our ingredients. We just need to finish mixing them together very carefully. And then we'll put it in our pan and bake it. Okay, so now I'll just put my batter in my prepared springform pan and put it in the oven for 40 minutes, and then I'll be back. Hey, this is Anita. I'm back again. So, our cake is done, and it looks pretty nice. It almost looks like a meringue on top because of all the eggs. It's a really cool texture. I have this cross of St. James that I've cut out of paper, and I'm going to use it as a mask when I put the powdered sugar on top, as is traditional. So we'll see if it works. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now we try to lift this off without disturbing.
Hold it by the
Too
arm
much.
thingies. Yes, exactly.
There we go, and it looks beautiful. Thanks so much for cooking with me, and I hope you enjoyed this.